What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope everybody's doing well out there on this nice, beautiful Wednesday. I'm doing real good myself. I come across this particular story right here, and it's more proof that we as a people in this particular country really better start arming ourselves and fighting back towards these races who tend to want to brutalize, harass, or what have you, our people for just going on about their day-to-day business, and they're just doing this because they see police doing it and getting away with it for the most part. As in this story right here, it says white Florida couple are arrested for shooting at an unarmed black family who were returning their U-Haul at a strip mall because they assumed they were trying to steal gas. And it's always some chumped up, stupid ass excuse for their own for their debaucherous behavior. You know what I mean? None but a bunch of damn lies. It says right here, a white couple in Florida has been arrested for opening fire on an unarmed black family who were returning a U-Haul van at a strip mall because they thought they were trying to steal gas. Wallace 77 and Beverly Fontaine 72. Listen, look how old these motherfuckers are, and look how they acting. Have each been charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault following the shooting incident at the strip mall they own in Tallahassee on August 27th. They are accused of firing their guns at 2 black men and a 10-year-old child who were returning a U-Haul at a rental drop-off located at the strip mall. All right, let's look at these old motherfuckers. There they go right here. His ass looked like Mr. Howell from Gilligan's Island, and she looking like fucking Kane from Poltergeist. Just wore out, nasty looking, stupid. Man, I tell you, this bullshit is off the chain here in this country, and the only way to deal with it is to fight fire with fire, and that's just all there is to it. To continue, police say the couple incorrectly assumed black men were linked to recent vandalism and theft of gas at the strip mall. Always got an excuse. The 2 men who were fired at, Kendrick Clemens and Charles McMillan Jr., told the Tallahassee Democratic that they were just returning the U-Haul they had rented when they heard the gunfire. They say Clemens had driven the U-Haul to the drop-off spot and McMillan followed behind in the GMC truck to give him a ride back. The men, who also had McMillan's 10-year-old son with them, said they were sitting in McMillan's truck ready to leave when they saw the Fontaines coming towards them armed with guns. Listen to this shit. See? They are so trigger happy. I mean, you can see that's their strength. You know what I mean? Is to pick up a gun and start shooting, and don't give a damn about who they harm or what have you. But to continue, they say the couple pointed the guns at them and shouted, "Don't move." McMillan said he quickly reversed and sped off as they heard gunshots ringing out. The victims are now filing a lawsuit against the Fontaines and also the U-Haul company. The Tallahassee police officer who arrested the couple was parked nearby when the incident unfolded. In the arrest report, the officer wrote that he saw the U-Haul pull into the parking lot, followed by the truck. All right, good. At least y'all funky old asses got arrested. And they probably slap them on the wrist, but at least they getting the lawsuit in on them, And I guess it's 2 brothers right here, that went through that. You know what I'm saying? It says here, yeah, the 2 men who were fired at, Kendrick Clemens and Charles McMillan Jr., said they were just returning the U-Haul they had rented when they heard the gunfire. They also had McMillan's 10-year-old son with them. And they see that child could have been shot. Either one of them could have been shot. It just wasn't right for them to do that. I mean, a U-Haul, and you talking about trying to steal gas. They knew what that was. They just wanted to do this. See? And they're doing a lot of shit thinking they're going to get away with it with some bunk ass excuse. You know what I mean? But to continue, the drivers then parked the GMC by the U-Haul, and based on their interactions, I assume both parties knew each other, and the gentleman driving the GMC was picking up the driver of the U-Haul. The officer wrote, their actions were normal, nothing out of the ordinary. The officer heard gunshots a short time later and saw the truck speeding away as the people inside motioned behind them. The arrest report details how the officer then spotted the armed couple walking towards the truck as it left. Caught their ass red-handed. See? The officer demanded the couple drop their weapons, and they initially refused to obey the commands according to the report. My question is this before I go any further. Why in the fuck didn't the cops shoot them? They shooting unarmed people. You shooting unarmed people, you back shooting them. They just taking off running and you shooting them on the spot. Right then and right there. But you know, these lowlifes right here got guns, and you want to plead with them to drop the damn weapons, and they refuse. That's bullshit. See? To continue, the male and female could be heard saying that the occupants were possibly stealing fuel and that the male could not hear my verbal commands. The arrest report says both male and female were not obeying my commands at first. However, they eventually placed the firearms on the ground and laid on the ground away from the firearms. See? Well, I wouldn't have asked twice. I can tell you that. But like here, this is Kendrick Clemens left, and Charles McMillan Jr. right are now filing a lawsuit against the Fontaines and also the U-Haul company following the shooting incident. I would too, you know. And here's a post here. It says, from Charles McMillan Jr. This is the couple who made it their business to pull out their pistols, Glock 19 and a 357 Magnum, and shoot because they assumed we were stealing gas out of an U-Haul truck. They never asked a question about what we were doing. They literally just shot their guns and basically said, don't move. The messed up part about this, as I tell my 10-year-old son to get down and speed out of there, not knowing their intentions, they shoot 2 to 4 times. Well, it's 2 to 4 more times. Moving forward today, and my thoughts, the judge decided to let these people out on some pretrial release conditions and no bond, and also didn't think they were a flight risk, probably because they have never been in trouble and their age. However, who cares about that? Well, who cares about that when my son had to witness something like that and how this has significantly affected him? I don't care about their age and them not being in trouble in the past. My son is 10 years old. I was only turning my U-Haul rental in. The fact that these people had ammunition, multiple firearms, multiple loaded magazines is crazy as hell. On what their intentions really were if the police wasn't right there. They were basically given a slap on the wrist. Right, I agree with that. But continue, as in what they did was okay. The system is crazy and messed up. If I would have done the same thing, my black ass would be at the least have to be bonded out. This is not over. Look at the police report. All right. they gonna slap him on the wrist, but at least you get that lawsuit in on their ass. You know what I mean? It's a blessing that none of y'all was hit. Nobody in the truck was hit. See, old bitches, I tell you. And this is them right there. You know, like I said, her funk ass looked just like Kane from Poltergeist. When the little kid said, "They're back," seeing his ugly, wicked ass looking and shit. Mr. Howe, man, I tell you, this got to stop. The only way it's gonna stop is to start busting back, straight up. That's just all there is to it. That's one thing, in fact, got it right about. Grandmaster Jay. Arm yourselves. You know what I'm saying? And shit, we may need to start running in groups. To be honest with you, But to continue in conclusion here, after the couples were detained, they told police the people had recently been cutting fuel lines and siphoning gas from vehicles at the U-Haul location. They claimed they were conducting surveillance when they saw the victims and believed they were planning to steal gas. Yeah, but they was driving the truck. Don't even try it. You lying. You lying. And even if that was the case, I bet you more than anything, if someone was siphoning gas, cutting lines and all that, it was one of y'all people. It was one of y'all that was doing it. Shit. Well, let me continue here. The couple say they fired warning shots in the air to scare them off. They denied pointing the guns at the victims. Beverly admitted to police that they never saw the victims trying to steal gas. The couple have since been released and on pretrial supervision and were ordered to surrender their guns within 24 hours. In a Facebook post, McMillan slammed the judge's decision to release the couple. Who cares about that when my son had to witness something like that and how this has significantly affected him? I don't care about their age and them not being in trouble in the past, he said. Which we already covered that part. I don't know why they repeated that. My son is only 10. I was only turning my U-Haul rental in. The fact that these people had ammunition, multiple firearms, multiple loaded magazines is crazy as hell on what their intentions really were if the police wasn't right there. They were basically given a slap on the wrist, as in what they did was okay. The system is crazy and messed up. And it goes on to say what we already covered. If I would have done the same thing, my black ass would be at least have to bond out. Okay? Yeah. Well, we know the system is unfair. But again, it's a blessing that neither one of y'all was hurt, and at least, even if they do slap these ugly bastards on the wrist with they old decrepit asses, you know what I mean? At least y'all should sue. At least y'all gonna sue them, you know what I mean? And they'll think twice before they decide to aim guns at someone else, And also, I happen to know, I believe this. If they had been a white couple, for example, let's say if they had been white, you know what I mean, and in that same U-Haul truck, I bet you money they wouldn't have shot at them. They wouldn't have shot at them. They would just ask questions about, they wouldn't have said shit. Well, it's just some white people returning a U-Haul truck, I bet you that's the way it would have been if it was two white men, and a 10-year-old child. They wouldn't have been about this. So we know what's up with this situation. But y'all tell me what y'all think about this story. I'm interested in hearing y'all thoughts and your views and opinions on it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. People, please remember to live your life as though we're being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.